Happy February Community Kitchen, everybody. Our theme is chocolates in everything. My name's Heidi Strickler. I was actually the first community kitchen coordinator back when I was a nutrition student at Seattle Pacific University. So I'm really excited to be joining you this month. One of my favorite recipes. I do love chocolate, so this is a very fitting kitchen for me to be a part of. And I'm going to be making a Mocha granola. Granola is really easy to make. It's really versatile. You can use really whatever you have on hand. It comes together really quickly, and it's really cost effective as well. So excited to share this recipe with you, and let's get cooking. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and line a baking sheet with either parchment paper or a silicone baking sheet. Alright, so once you've got your oven preheated, you can gather all your ingredients. I like to measure mine out beforehand just because it helps make everything easier. So for this recipe, we're going to throw in 3 cups of rolled oats, 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of coffee. You can use 2 tablespoons. I say 2 to 4 tablespoons, but I like my coffee strong, and so I'm going to throw in 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of ground coffee. 3/4 cups chopped nuts. You can use almonds, pecans, walnuts. I just have a big tub of mixed nuts in my house, and so I just chopped up a bunch of those and threw them in. There's some cashews and pistachios in here as well. Like I said, really whatever you have on hand. And now we have our spices. So we've got a tablespoon of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of turmeric. You'll see in the recipe that I give an option for a spiced granola, and so I'm going to go with the spiced option, and so that's why I'm adding the cinnamon and the turmeric, as well as a little bit of cayenne pepper. And then to finish it off, just a little pinch of salt, and a little ground of black pepper. The reason we actually put the black pepper in is because the black pepper helps our body absorb the turmeric, and turmeric is really anti-inflammatory. So we add all of our dry ingredients and give them a mix. Just make sure everything is kind of mixed well together, well incorporated. All right, once everything is mixed, you're gonna add your liquid, which is 1/3 cup of liquid sweetener of choice. You can use maple syrup, honey, agave, and then 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil. Once I melt my coconut oil, I actually mix the sweetener in with the coconut oil. That way the sweetener comes out of the dish a lot easier. The oil helps it slip out. So I'll scoop all that out. And then give it another good mix. I generally like to use a spatula when I'm making granola because then I can really scrape down the sides. I found, if you use spoon or something like that, it is going to be a bit harder to scrape down those sides and get all the liquid off the edges. And you're just going to mix this well so everything's, like I said, kind of wet. Alright, so once you have everything mixed together, you're going to put it on your lined baking sheet. Make sure and spread it out really well. You don't want it too crowded, otherwise it's not going to cook evenly. And if you do need to use a second baking sheet or cook it in 2 batches, that's totally fine. So we're going to open up our oven, put this in there for about 15 minutes. I like to generally check mine about every 5 minutes and just give it a stir. There's a lot of ovens where normally the back of your oven is a little bit warmer, especially the back left. And so I like to stir it about every 5 minutes just to make sure that everything cooks evenly. Alright, so I just pulled this granola out of the oven and it smells amazing. But we have one more thing to add. And so our final ingredient is going to be dark chocolate covered espresso beans. You can also use dark chocolate covered nuts or fruit. Generally, I don't like to cook this in the oven because it's really, really easy to burn. And so as soon as I pull my granola out of the oven, I'll add my dark chocolate covered espresso beans, anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 cup. I've got 1/2 cup here. And so you just sprinkle them on and then stir it around. This is going to allow the chocolate to kind of melt into the granola and form kind of these delicious chocolatey clusters. It's also really easy to make your own dark chocolate covered coffee beans, which is what I did today. I didn't have any on hand, and so I just melted some dark chocolate in the microwave and then mixed in some coffee beans and put it in the freezer to firm up. So just mix this up, let it sit for about 20 minutes, and then we're ready to dive in.